So the Flight of the Osprey team have been up here on the northern coast of Spain for a couple of days, and we were speaking to the Osprey Bird Centre, which is the first big estuary from the coast of the Pyrenees, one which a lot of birds on migration are using. And a specific thing about the Osprey estuary is that it's great that it's so undeveloped still for birds. They've been talking about the level of development in other areas, and this site in particular, so if you the next estuary along is actually being completely built over by what is now Bilbao, and the next estuary along is this one here, which is the Barbadun River. And as we drove across it, the first thing I noticed was that the whole estuary is actually being completely built over by an oil refinery. There is still a river that runs through it, but there's an oil refinery, and then along with that a vast network of power lines, which would be pretty hospitable for any migrating birds. Some of them have got small diverters on them, but not many. They're a mesh all over the place. So this would ought to be also really uninviting for a bird on migration. And then last night we get news that the adult osprey, tagged, called 4K, actually flew a route across the Bay of Biscay and directly across the top of this oil refinery. Now, what is going on there? Did he choose to do that? Was that just the way the winds blew him? Thankfully, he's made it all the way across all the power lines, etc. But looking at the site, there is an area that he could have fished after his long journey. He's just flown 720 kilometers. But he didn't stop to fish. He carried on and actually ended up roosting in the forest, in the mountains, way out the back there. Hopefully he'll then go on to find food, or at least he doesn't need energy and he can carry on. But is there actually something that could be inviting about this estuary? Again, it has still got some areas that are possibly still have fish. Maybe they're not too polluted. And then if you look across, for a bird that's relying on thermals for migration, so you don't have to expend too much energy, there's a few places around where you can see thermals will definitely be coming off this estuary. One of those is the fact that you've got gas being burnt off at some of the top of those towers there. They will be creating thermal lift. But if you look at the refrigerating area, up the back here, you can see very clearly that there is air rising from the top of all those towers as well. So could that also be an area which the Ospreys would navigate towards because they need that extra lift to carry on? So the jury's out. But one other interesting fact about this particular company, Petronor, it's written on the top of that refrigeration centre, is that its prime interest is West Africa. So its interest is exactly in the area that our bird 4K is going. So yeah, fingers crossed they'll want to talk to us.